Hi everyone and welcome to NameHero.com. In this video tutorial I want to talk about some common DNS problems and also how to fix these problems and also just how to operate the DNS settings completely at NameHero. We see a lot in our support department that most problems or a lot of problems that come in have to deal with a problem with the DNS. Something's just not set up correctly or something's malconfigured. So really the first thing that our support department does most of the time is they check your DNS records to see if there's an issue. Now this mostly happens when your site can't pull up, when the site's not coming online, or maybe it's displaying the wrong thing. A lot of times there's a DNS issue. And also if you're getting some really weird errors, like maybe the site loads on your computer but not on your phone. Maybe the site loads fine for you, but maybe your friend in another state or country, it doesn't work for them. All these type of issues most of the time are DNS. So I wanted to do a full tutorial where I walk you through the complete sign up process, from registering name servers to setting up name servers to setting up actual DNS entries for your website. So this is primarily for our reseller customers. However, if you are a basic hosting customer, you may find some value in this tutorial as well. And especially if you're a VPS customer, the same will apply to you like a reseller because you're using Web Host Manager. So this should help a lot of you out though. And if you have additional questions, feel free to ask me on this YouTube video, and I'd be more than happy to help you out. So to get started here, I want to sign up for one of our reseller packages. So I'm just going to click over here to reseller hosting. So at NameHero, we are the leaders in reseller hosting, especially in the reseller cloud web hosting. There's not a lot of reseller cloud hosts out there. Some people, they claim to be, some other companies claim to be, but they're really not. Our NameHero Cloud is the high-speed infrastructure that we have built that all of our hosting resides on. We do not operate traditional old-school dedicated servers. This means that if one server goes offline, the whole network's not down. Our servers are pooled together from resources on a complete private, redundant, and secure cloud. That was my vision personally when I started NameHero, as I wanted to have a fast and affordable infrastructure. Prior to NameHero, when I ran my own businesses, I had to build out my own cloud, and it was really expensive, time-consuming, and I was able to get really high-quality hosting, but I noticed that no one else is offering this. HostGator, Bluehost, GoDaddy, they seem to not be interested in offering high-speed cloud hosting as much as they were in offering really discounted hosting for the masses. So we tried to come out with a quality product that's affordable here at NameHero, and I believe our growth over the last 3 years just really proves that we've been able to really sustain something special in the hosting industry, and I hope you too will find value. So with our reseller hosting packages, this allows you to resell our high-speed cloud. The success stories we've heard have truly been humbling. Our average reseller is a WordPress developer or a WordPress designer or a website designer or even a marketing company or SEO company that provides hosting to their customers. And we've just heard all kinds of great stories about how these WordPress developers, website designers, and so forth and so on have been able to really maximize their revenue and also make their customers a lot happier because no longer do they have to refer their customer to a hosting company. They can just take that into their own hands and provide that service. So today I'm going to demo with our corporate reseller account. At NameHero, we offer 3 different types of reseller hosting accounts. Our most popular is the Corporate Hero package, and that's because it comes with a complimentary WHMCS license. WHMCS is a billing and automation platform that allows you to bill your customers, to set your customers up in real time, and it takes care of all the invoicing and all that stuff, so you don't have to worry about contacting your customer each month to get paid. They will automatically get an invoice where they can pay it, and it just really saves you a lot of time. It also has a support system, so if your customer needs help, they can submit a ticket, and you can also stay very organized. Me personally, this is what we use at NameHero. I don't see how a web hosting company would operate without something like this. I know there's been companies in the past and present that develop their own billing system, but really, I've always said this, that if you're going to be a web hosting company, be a web hosting company. If you're going to be a software company, be a software company. Let the respective companies specialize in what they're good at. So at NameHero, we specialize in web hosting, high quality, fast, high speed, and we leave the software up to WHMCS. They have hundreds of employees that work on development each and every day. So that's the package I'm going to go with. We also have our startup and entrepreneur packages if you do not need WHMCS. What we see a lot of customers do is they'll start off with our corporate package, and as their business grows, they'll add a startup package or they'll add an entrepreneur package, and that way they can still use WHMCS and fill on these other packages. So you can start off with a corporate and then have multiple entrepreneur and have multiple multiple startup. Our biggest resellers at NameHero, they've got 20, 30, 40, 50 reseller packages, so their customers are spread out across all of our network, creating even more redundancy. So I hope you'll find that same value. All right, so I'm going to click on Corporate Hero. When you do this, you have three different options. One's to register a new domain. When you're setting up a reseller hosting account, your primary domain that you enter here, this is going to be used for your private name servers. And this is most of the time the domain you're going to be installing your billing software on. So I like to recommend reseller hosts out there, make this a domain that's your kind of your primary domain, the one you're going to mainly use for your business. So for an example, like NameHero.com, that's our main domain. So that's what I recommend you do for yours. And if you already have a website established, maybe you create a second brand for your hosting, or you do something a little bit different. Maybe use the .NET version, but just kind of realize that going forward. If you sign up for our Corporate Hero package longer than a year, the first year's domain registration is on us. We kind of reward customers that decide to sign up longer than month to month. So that's a perk you get here. If your domain is registered with a current web host or maybe a registrar such as GoDaddy or Namecheap, you can transfer it to us. And same as registering the new domain. If you're signing up for a year or longer, that transfer fee is free. It's on us. Again, we like to reward our customers that decide to really make the commitment to come over. And the third option is if you want to manage your domain yourself. Like for my example here today, I already have my domain I'm going to use inside the NameHero account, so there is no need for me to transfer it or register a new one because it's already in my NameHero account. But it is simpler to set up a reseller hosting package if your domain is registered with us. In a little bit here, I'm going to be registering my name servers, and we see people have problems if their domain is registered at GoDaddy because they have to go down to GoDaddy's interface and kind of navigate through all the confusing stuff in there and get their name servers registered. And we see this time and time again, so it just makes it a lot easier. I highly recommend, if you're going to be doing reseller hosting with us, to have your domain with us. Okay, so my domain is going to be reseller hostingus.com. So I'm going to enter the reseller hosting US here, the .com here. I'm going to click use. We're going to review everything we've kind of talked about. Just shows we're getting the Corporate Hero that has 100 gigabytes of disk space. This is the amount of disk space you can use. So you're allowed to create unlimited accounts, and as long as they don't use more than 100 gigabytes of space, you're fine. You can set your own prices, completely white labeled. You can use up to 2,000 gigabytes or 2 terabytes of monthly bandwidth. Incoming bandwidth is free. It's just the outgoing bandwidth that we charge for. So I doubt you're going to run out of this, but you can spread this across all your customers. Once again, it's unlimited customers. We don't limit you on the number of accounts you can create. This comes with the complimentary WHMCS starter license. This is a $15.95 a month value, $15.95 a month value. So you're going to be saving, quite a bit by getting this Corporate Hero package with that license. Comes with a free dedicated IP address, so all the customers that you host will have they're all going to share the same IP address and not the IP addresses with the rest of the NameHero network. This creates a lot higher level of email redundancy, so you're definitely going to want this. Comes free with the Corporate Hero. Also comes with a complimentary domain reseller account. We have one from Enom and also one from Reseller Club, so you actually get 2 domain reseller accounts, so you can resell your own domains. So if you want to, be like GoDaddy yourself, you can offer domain registrations and transfers to your customers. Free and automatic SSL. This is a really big thing. Ever since July 1st, 2018, Google Chrome shows a big warning sign inside the browser, and it says not secure if your website does not have SSL. So SSL is now really a requirement. It's not optional, because customers get a warning on their site, they're going to be mad. Companies like GoDaddy, they upcharge for this, and they start at like $70 a year. And NameHero, we believe SSL should be free and automatic, and that's what we do here, and you can also do that for your customers. Your customers will greatly appreciate this, and it also helps create a safer internet for all of us. Private name servers, this comes with every reseller account. I'm going to show you how to set those up once we get through the checkout process. Okay, I'm going to choose my billing cycle. The longer you sign up at NameHero, the more you save. Highly recommend going with the 24-month price. It is more money up front, but in the long run, you actually save. With reseller hosting, all of your business is based on ROI, so why not get the cheaper package, right? I mean, yes, it is more money up front, but in the long run, it really pays off. And also, with our Summer Sizzler promotion, you're going to be saving even more than this, so I'm going to show you that on the next page. But I highly recommend it. You know, some people will argue me until they're blue in the face and say they just want to go month to month, but you know, you're not going to be saving as much, and you have to deal with paying your hosting every month. Your credit card expires, or something happens, you don't get it paid, then everyone gets suspended, not just you, your customers included. So don't let that happen to you. Unfortunately, we see this far too often at NameHero, and we actually see sometimes resellers, customers, you know, they don't know what to do, and we've had the case before where we've seen reseller customers go out posting on message boards because they never see us because they're white labeled, and they wonder what happened to their hosting. Well, it's because their reseller did not pay their bill. So that's why I recommend the 24-month price. Everyone, each to their own. You make the decision for yourself, but highly recommend it. Drop My Site offsite backups. This is for your primary domain that you're signing up with right now. Most of our customers, this is the domain they installed WHMCS on. So Drop My Site allows you to keep up to 30 days of offsite backups. If you're using WHMCS, you need to have 30 days worth of backups. If you don't order this, then please take your own backups. This just automates it all for you and makes it easy. It's $199 a month for 5 gigabytes, and you can upgrade at any time. So if you get 30 days of backups and you start approaching, need more space, you can upgrade at any time, but just start with at least 5 gigabytes of backup data. Again, if you're running WHMCS, you need 30 days worth of backups, so why not automate it and get it done right through here? Some people argue this, and most of the time they don't buy it until they need it, and then they need it, and they get really mad because they didn't do it, and it's just a mess. So take my advice, buy it now. Okay, this is for the WHMCS license. It is free. If you want it, click it. Some people don't want it because they already have it, so it's up to you, but it is free. So we're going to click continue. Now we're going to see that savings. So as I mentioned, at the time of recording this video, we're running our Reseller Sizzler promotion. So if you sign up for two years, you're going to save $335.42. So see, this is where that really starts to pay off. The longer you sign up, the more you save. So not only are you saving for signing up for 2 years, you're saving even more with our Reseller Sizzler promotion. So, I don't know when you watch this video. If you watch this video in a different month and we're not running the promotion, I can't promise it's going to be there, but that's what we're offering right now. So if you're watching this video in the summer, take advantage of that because that's $335 back in your pocket, almost 50% off the original price. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make my payment and check out, and then I'll resume this video and we'll talk about those DNS records. Okay, now I have completed my order. At NameHero, customer service is everything to us. It's our goal to provide 5 for 5 or even 10 for 10 customer service, however you measure it. So we're constantly asking for feedback. We want to know how we're doing. Me as CEO, I take this stuff very, very personally even. I like to read the reviews and the star ratings more so than I like to see sales come in because I like to see our team do a good job. When I started NameHero in 2015, it was out of necessity. I couldn't find a hosting company that offered what I needed, but also I couldn't find a hosting company to provide me with support. Everyone acted like they were doing me a favor to provide me with support. So we try to do a little bit different here at NameHero. You can call us, give us a live chat, or submit a ticket. We try to be fast, polite, courteous, and also knowledgeable to help you solve your issue quickly. So with that said, if this video helped you out, or maybe a blog post or a YouTube channel, we certainly do appreciate all 5s on these. Once you finish these, you have the opportunity to share your experience with others. This comment here will be displayed across our website and on the Shopper Approved website as well, letting other people know about NameHero. If you're like me, you review everything. I can be sitting in Walmart and I'll be scanning items and looking them up on Amazon to read the reviews and on simple stuff too. But I want to know if it's good. I want to see what other people think about that. So we certainly do appreciate if you help, other people know what they're in for here at NameHero. If you could be so kind, it's about 50 characters. It could be really quick. We then ask for your name and email. Your email is going to be automatically populated based on your account. Just enter your name. You don't have to enter a name if you don't want. You can remain anonymous. But this is not for marketing. This is just so we can follow up with you. We're not going to sell your information or spam you or send you upsells. This is just so we can follow up with you about your review. And just click submit. But if you're just like Ryan, right now, I don't feel comfortable giving you a review because I got to see it to believe it. Hey, that's fine. I understand. Just click the X. It's not required to fill that out. Okay, my order is finished. So I'm going to click here to continue to my client area. And now I'm brought to the main NameHero dashboard. This is where I manage all my hosting and my domains and all my services. So this is kind of home base for us here at NameHero for our customers. So the first thing I want to do is I want to register my private name servers and go into my Corporate Hero reseller account. So I want to click on Cloud Web Hosting. This is going to take me to my packages I have. If you just have one, then you just have one in here. But if you have multiple packages, they'll show here. This is my demo account. So I have the Corporate Hero we just ordered, and I have a couple other packages in here. So you might have more packages. You know, as I said, our top resellers have many, many different packages with us. So I'm going to click here on Corporate Hero, and this is home base for the Corporate Hero package. This shows you your current disk usage, your bandwidth usage, shows all about your package, your main domain, the primary IP address, the server information you're on, as well as the private name servers that we're going to register. So if I click this Manage Domain button, this is only if your domain is with us at NameHero. If your domain's at GoDaddy and you chose option 3 that you're going to update the name servers, you have to go into their interface to complete this next step. So I'm going to click on Manage Domain, and this brings me into resellerhostingus.com. So the first thing I want to do is I want to register my private name servers, because when I'm offering hosting, I want to give my customer these name servers. It looks more professional for me to give these to my customer than giving them a NameHero name server. So, you know, it's white labeled. They'll never see us. They'll never even know you're buying your hosting from NameHero. That's the real beauty of our reseller program. 100% white labeled. They'll never see us. They only see you. But we have to register these. We have to set these up. So I'm going to go into my NameHero, my Reseller Hosting US domain, and click on Private Name Servers. So now I have this interface where I can register a name server. So I'm going to go down here and copy this first IP, copy it, go back to here. I got to type in NS1 and paste the IP address here, click Save, and then I'm going to go back here and get the second one, NS2, copy it, NS2, paste it, save changes. And once it's registered, I then have to set the domain to use these name servers. So I'm going to click up here on Name Servers, and I'm going to change this to ns1.resellerhostingus.com. And I'm just going to copy this. Whoops. I'm getting sloppy here. It's getting late in the day for me. ns1, and I paste this, .com. This here, copy here and paste into here, and NS2. So now my domain is going to use these private name servers we just registered. Okay, there's one more thing that we need to do, and this is also one of the main purposes of this tutorial, is to edit our DNS zone file to use these. So I'm going to go back into my client area, and I'm going to click Login to WHM under Actions. Web Host Manager, this is the control panel where you control all of your customer domains and websites. This is how you create a new customer, as you do it inside of here. If you're using WHMCS, it'll automate this process, but ultimately, this is where you have full control all over your customers. So I'm going to go to DNS, and I'm going to click Edit a DNS Zone. So this brings up all the domains that you're hosting in your account and allows you to modify their DNS records. And so when you're troubleshooting DNS, this is the first place you go to. And I'll talk about that here in just a second. But before we get to that, let's register these name servers, or let's set up the A records for these name servers we just registered. So I'm going to click on my main domain and click Edit. And so you can see here, this domain is set up to use ns39.securewebhosting.net and ns40.securewebhosting.net. These are just defaults for the server. And if you don't want to use private name servers, you can use these. But I really suggest that you use private name servers. It looks more professional. Your customers will like it. And that's what I just set up in the previous step. So it's free, so why not, right? So basically, I just want to change this to ns1.resellerhostingus.com. So I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to change this to ns1.resellerhostingus.com. And I'm making all kinds of typos here. And I want to keep a period after this. Whoops. Once again, I'm getting sloppy. I'm going to paste it in here. And now this one's got to be NS2. So you have the primary domain here, and then you tell it you're going to use NS1 as the primary name server. Then you go down here and you have to tell the actual name servers for the domain. So it's ns1.resellerhostingus and ns2.resellerhostingus. Now you need to set up your A records. So you can see cPanel has so kindly to have these records, but we have to make sure they have the proper A entries. So NS1 is going to be this IP address here, and NS2 is this IP address here. So you have to make sure that your name servers have the correct IP address. So you can see them in right here. NS1's here and NS2 is there. So we're going to click on Save Changes. So this information is all right here, and this is what goes into your zone file. So now if I go to Edit DNS Zone, you're going to see resellerhostingus.com, use NS1, it uses NS1 and NS2, and I've got correct A entries. My A entries match what is over here. If you need to create these, you can go down here and create these here. Okay, so now to check this, well, once the domain is registered and set up, it may take anywhere from 2 hours to propagate to 24 hours, sometimes instantly. So if I click Reseller Hosting US, you can see that my domain is propagated. Now that's because I set it up a little bit ahead of this video just to make sure that we could film. But it may take a little bit longer than an hour, maybe instant, just depends on your internet service provider. But what we want to do after we've done all this, we want to check the domain to make sure the DNS records are correct. So to do this, we developed a free tool at NameHero called DNSHero.com. And so you go here and you just type in your domain, and we have to delete this stuff here. We just want to type in the domain, no HTTP. Click Report, and we look at this. And so we're looking to make sure there's no red on this report, and there is not. You can see everything looks good. If there's any red on this report, then we know we most likely have an error in that DNS zone file. Maybe we did not enter these correctly. Maybe we did not create the A records. This is the first thing you need to look at if you're having any issues. And I just recommend checking the DNS report after you set up your private name servers. Why not, right? Just make sure it's right. Because most of the time when customers have problems, our support team, they check this first. And 9 chances out of 10, when they're having trouble accessing their site, it's either this or an IP block. So it's normally something that can be avoided or fixed. So, just make sure that you do this. It's very, very important. There's also another website called IntoDNS.com. So if you want to check it against another one, because I don't want to just promote our tool, I love DNS Hero, we developed it, but you can check it in IntoDNS as well. There's many of these tools across the internet. But you're just making sure that there is no red. Now, I personally like DNS Hero because it's fast. You can look at IntoDNS, it says beta, and it takes a little bit to get because they've got ads and all this stuff. But once again, there's no red. There's a couple warnings here, but you can ignore these. Not all your name, this is saying warning, not all your name servers are in different subnets. And that's because the IP addresses here are not in different subnets. So it assumes there's a single point of failure. But remember, we're on the cloud, so there is not a single point of failure. So you can ignore that, and that's why they're in yellow and not red. As long as there's no red, you are good. But that's what you want to make sure when you set up this private name servers, and when you mess around with the DNS, check your report, make sure there is no red. The site's not coming up, maybe the site's coming up for you, but not coming up for your friend, coworker, neighbor, then come here and check first. All of this is controlled right inside of the Edit DNS zone right here inside of Web Host Manager. So that's what we see most of the DNS problems. Now, if your customers are having trouble, so let's set up an example customer and let me show you how you would have them troubleshoot this. So if we want to create a customer, the first thing we need to do is have a package set up. Now, if you're going to use WHMCS, you can, but you actually have to set up the packages first. So I want to type in add a package right here, add a package. So let's say we're going to sell a hosting account and we're going to call it our basic host. And with this package, we're going to have, let's say, 10,240 megabytes. So about 10 gigabytes of space. And let's say we're going to allow them, this is like 1,000,000 megabytes, so like 1,000 gigabytes of bandwidth. That's kind of a lot, but let's just say we're going to allow it anyways. And unlimited everything else. Let's say we're not going to allow them to park domains or add-on domains, so we're going to keep those at 0. These are default settings here, so you can't edit these. These are actually 25 and 100 by default, so don't worry about these here. And everything else you can leave default and click Add. All right, so now that is going to add the package. So now I go over here, and if I've typed in add here, it just takes me down to a couple options. I can click create new account. And on here, I can see how much disk space I have remaining. So I've used 1.96 out of 100,000. So I've got plenty of disk space. I have not used any of my bandwidth yet, so there's plenty. And I've got a package here that's not going to be limited or anything. So now I can add my customer. So for this example, I'm going to add keydiets.com. I'm going to let the system make a username for me. I'm just going to use the password generator. Click I've copied it in a safe place. And if it's a customer, add their email address here because this is going to be tied to their cPanel account. Then I'm going to select that package that I just created. I'm going to go down here, and you can leave all this other stuff default. You don't have to worry about messing with it, and click create. Okay, now the customer's account has been created. So for your customer to connect their hosting to you, they need to set their domain to use the private name servers that you defined and we set up earlier. So these are the ones I'm going to use. So I'm just going to copy this, and I actually have this domain in my NameHero account. So I'm going to go to Key Diets, and I'm going to click on Name Servers, and I'm going to change these to the reseller account. So ns1.resellerhostingus and ns2.resellerhostingus. Click Change Name Servers. And now the domain keydiets.com is tied to my reseller account. So if I click, or if I type in list, I can see all the accounts on my reseller. So I've got my main domain here, but then here's a customer of mine. And this customer, remember, they're using my name servers and they're all set up. And so you can access their cPanel here, but using the username and password that we just created, you can give that to them and they'll have access to their own cPanel. So now if we look at their DNS, we can go to Edit DNS Zone, Key Diets, and we can see all their records are in here. You can see they're using the ns1.resellerhostingus, ns2. So everything's set up correctly automatically. But we can always check this by going back to DNS Hero. Go back here, and we can just type in keydiets.com, click Report, and you can see there is no red. Everything is set up correctly. We can even go over here and type it into DNS, click Report, and same thing. We're going to get all white. Let's give it a second. Into DNS is a lot slower. But if we go into this, okay, here it is loaded. So you can see, same thing. We get those two silly warnings, but there's just warnings, no problem. As long as there's no red, you're all good. But you can edit their DNS records here. Again, it's automatically set up, so very rarely will you need to come in here. But if you ever see red here, then there's a need for an edit, so it's in here. Now, if your customers want to edit their DNS, they don't have access to Web Host Manager. So they have to do it inside a cPanel. So if I click List Accounts, I can log into the cPanel like I am the customer, and I'll show you what it looks like for them. So I can go to DNS, click Zone Editor, and this is where they would manage their DNS. So if they need to add an A record, they could click here. If they need to add a CNAME, they could do it here, an MX record here, or they click Manage and look at all the records that is set up. So you can see cPanel makes this a little bit more user-friendly than it does on the Web Host Manager end, but this is where your customer can check and edit any of their DNS records that they need to edit. You know, sometimes this is necessary if they're setting up a CDN, a content delivery network, if they're using the ClickFunnels software. ClickFunnels.com is a popular software we see a lot of people use. They want to add a record for that. Some people like to use the Wix website editor, so if they want to add Wix or something, this is where they would go to manage that. But as long as they're using your name servers and you're the reseller, they can edit everything inside of here. And likewise, if you're just a customer at NameHero, not a reseller, this is where you will edit all of your DNS stuff. If you want to add the A entries, add the MX, or modify any of these, this is where it's all done. It's very, very friendly and easy interface to use. You know, I'm a big fan of the zone editor here. You know, if we wanted to click MX and change our MX records to Google, this is where we do it. You know, if your customer's using G Suite, formerly Google Apps, they could add those records inside of here. So that's where it's all done. If you make any edits though, just make sure that you're checking it here in DNS Hero or use into DNS, either one. Or, you know, for me, I'm a perfectionist, so I just go ahead and use both. I use the tool we developed to make sure there's no red and go to into DNS, make sure there's no red. If you Google DNS reports, there's all kinds of different tools out there. So that's how you modify and edit and check your DNS records. This solves a lot of issues that we see in the support portal. So I'm hoping this video will shed some light for some customers, for some resellers out there, so you can help troubleshoot your issues. Of course, our support team's always there to help, but we feel like a good education is also very beneficial to our customers. So let us know if you have any questions. We certainly appreciate serving you and your customers. It's our pleasure being the leader in cloud web hosting. And feel free to comment on this YouTube video. If you like this video, if it helped you out, we certainly do appreciate a thumbs up. And also, it's very beneficial to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We post all kinds of helpful tutorials as well as reseller hosting tips and tricks, a bunch of stuff on WordPress and making your website fast. So make sure you do subscribe to our YouTube channel. It will benefit you, and we'll try our best to come out with content that suits you. So thanks so much for watching and using NameHero.com.